hearing? No? No? Negative? Yeah. And the second problem is the isn't necessary of analyzing gaze movement depending on the game situations. The I mentioned it before. The movement was changed based on the game situation. So the new software for analyzing gaze movement might be solved this problem. Like the gaze movement was differ based on the game situation. When they need to focusing on the center part, the gaze was changed more narrow, and when they need to moving their character, the gaze movement of Novice FPS gamers changed in response to different game situations during a 10-day practice period using the low-cost devices and softwares. So this is the method of the study, and in this experiment, I just used only one participant who did not play any FPS game in past 6 months. And the device I use low-cost devices, Adobe 5, and the get eye data, which was developed for analyze gaze movement, which obtained by the Adobe 5. And the gaze movement, I collect the gaze movement parameters like gaze distribution, vertical and horizontal, and the region of interest like the center, minimap, and other area. And the performance parameters like the kill to assistant ratio. So in this part, I'd like to introduce about the new software for dividing the game scene. Yeah, this software was developed by my coworker, and this software can detect the game scene based on the change in the number of ammo. Yeah, so when the ammo did not change, this program detect this scene is just moving their characters, and when this program detect the change of ammo, the program detecting like this scene is fighting scene. So this is the experiment procedure, what I was doing. In step one, the participants play the deathmatch of Valorant for 10 days. In step two, I record the play video and gaze video via OBS Studio. The upper part is play video and the lower part is a gaze video. Then participants cannot see the gaze video when they play a game. And analyze the gaze movement by using the get eye data, which was developed previously. In this software, I can calculate the coordinations of gaze movement and region of interest where you see it, like center, minimap, and others. So using this software for calculating the gaze data, and next step, we add the label fighting or not to using the new software. So when the ammo did not change, this program did not attach any other labels. And when this program detects the change of ammo, the label like fighting scene was added in the Excel file. So this is the processing of the data. And in gaze movement, I said it before, the gaze movement data like horizontal distribution and vertical distribution was analyzed. And I analyzed a region of interest like center, minimap, and any other areas. And I analyze the performance data, I kill the assistant ratio, and I calculate the correlations between gaze movement and performance. And I analyze the change of their gaze movement and performance during the 10 days of training. And this is a result of performance data and region of interest. And in performance level, the KDA score shows a significantly increasing trend during the 10 days of practice. And the percentage of gaze position in the center area showed a significantly increasing trend. And in opposite, the percentage of gaze position in the other area showed a significantly decreasing trend. And in the fighting scene, the vertical gaze distribution significantly show a decreasing trend throughout the 10 days of practice. And in the moving scene, but there was no significant trend was detected throughout the 10 days of practice. Yeah, and this is the correlations between performance and gaze movement. And there was no significant correlations were detected between gaze movement and KDA score, but in but the correlations between the gaze distribution and KDA score, it seems like it's significant. Looks like it's marginally significant. Yeah, as just p is just 0.06, so it might be correlated. So I think it might be caused by the low sample size. So I think it is necessary to collect more participants and like more gaze data during their training. So let's just move to the general discussions. And the current study aims to examine the change in gaze movement during the practice period with the low-cost devices and software. So in KDA score, the KDA score was increased during the 10 days of practice significantly. And I think this kind of changes indicate that a participant was successfully adapt to the FPS game environment and learn how to play it because the participants did the first time to play the FPS game and he did not know how to play it before. So I think they learned how to play it throughout the 10 days of practice. And in gaze movement, the percentage of gaze position in the center area shows an increasing trend and decreasing trend in other area. And this kind of result is different with the previous study. In 5-on-5 matches, the looking at minimap showed a significant correlations with the KDA score. So in 5-on-5 matches, the minimap area is essential for achieve a high performance. But in this result was this opponent with the previous study. I think is the reason is the feature of the matches. In this experiment, I'm using the deathmatch of Valorant. So the participants need to concentrate on the center part of the monitor rather than seeing any other area because in deathmatch, the participants need to concentrate on the center part and fighting with enemy continuously. So I think the continuously fighting with enemies is more important than the overall flow of the matches and communicating with other teammates. So that's why I think the result is opponent. So I think a participant might have learned how to move their gaze advantageously throughout the 10 days of practice. And there was no significant changes in moving scenes, and I think it might be induced by the low importance and the game situation was various and like the like it is not necessary to understand overall flow of the matches in deathmatch because they always fighting with the enemy. So it is not necessary to understand the overall flow or communicating with their teammates. And the various situations are including in moving scene, accepted to fighting scene because they need to more various informations are included in moving scene. And in fighting scene, the significant decrease of vertical distribution was detected throughout the 10 days of practice. And in previous study, the high-skill FPS game players showed a narrow gaze distribution than low-skilled FPS game players when they need to focusing on the center part of the monitor. And deathmatch was need to focusing on the center of the monitor. So in sum up, I think participants learn to focus on the center part of the screen, and it might be induced by the achieving the high attention skills. Yeah, it's only the 10 days of practice, but the participants can change the attention skill was improved and they can concentrate on the center part of the monitor. And the narrow gaze distribution of high skill FPS game players might be acquiring throughout the long-term training myself. So in this part, I'd like to introduce about the future implement. Like in my previous study, the analyzing gaze movement by dividing the game scene is important because the gaze movement was changed depending on the game scene. So it is important to divide the game scene and analyze based on the game situation. So because a lot of manpowers are needed. In this previous study, I divide the game scenes by myself. Yeah, by myself. So just divide the game scene. So it takes a lot of times and manpowers. And the determination criteria is quite subjective, yeah, because the humans are divide the game scene. And in the current study, I using some software which can divide the game scene automatically. So this kind of software did not need any manpowers, and the determination criteria is quite objective. Mm. So combining the low-cost devices and software might be helpful for training in esports and like their daily training, making the daily training report and conducting the science-based training in esports and helpful to analyze a player's data in the real-world esports competition. And this part I'd like to talk about next step, what I was wanting to do because the study was only contained one participant. So in ongoing research plan, I conducting the more long-term observational study, like 1 month or 2 months. And I need to collect more participants for analyze the data. So now I just collecting the participants and doing more long-term training. And in future research plan, what I want to do in next year is conducting the more long-term observation study, like 3 months or 4 months for analyze what is changing their gaze movement. And next year, I like to focusing on the fMRI study, like analyze the brain activity of the sports players and just analyze the change of brain activity throughout their training. And I challenge to improve my study to from just from esports to more general populations like all adults or some people who need some rehabilitation. So okay, and this is the all contents what I was prepared today, and thank you for listening. And I always welcome for connecting for all of it. So if you have any more questions or want to know more about my study, please contact me at LinkedIn or X. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Inhyeok, for presenting. And once again, if there's any question that you might want to ask, feel free to leave it in chat.
See the question I can say. Yeah. Oh, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, thank you for the questions. And I think it's really important who they fighting. So uh in this case, I think there's some two options. Like first option is fighting with the AI system, yeah, computer systems, and the second is mm, just keep the same MMR for anal, just keep the same MMR for conducting the experiment, like and just collect the level of participants and just collect the participants level and make them to fighting with the same level of participants. Yeah. In my case, yeah. Mm, yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. It just simply says like just fighting participants set to set the matches for participants to fighting with the same level of other players. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Yes. Mm, yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. I need to challenge to analyze the gaze data of the professional players, but it's really hard to find some participants. So in my case, I wanted to know how the gaze movement or brain activity was changed throughout playing the esport. So I think it's really important to understand the professional players' gaze movement. But yeah, I want to try, but I don't have any opinions about the professional players' gaze movement because I don't have any chance to analyze it. Yeah.